Hey, it's Prerak and today we're adding a multi-function steering wheel to my 2010 Laura. It'll go from looking like this to this. So first of all and most obviously we need a new steering wheel. Now for the car to support the steering wheel we need a new clock spring which can take input from the steering and send it to the BCM. Now to connect the steering wheel to this clock spring we need the airbag harness. This harness has a separate black connector as you can see which connects to the steering wheel and it will make the communication possible. We don't require the entire airbag, just the harness would have been fine. If you find a blown airbag it's going to be good, but I just found the entire airbag so it's good. It makes the job slightly easier, and while we are at it I'm also going to install cruise control onto this car. As you can see it says reset, resume and set right there, and we can just replace the combination switch, code it and have cruise control as well. You can choose a steering out of the Skoda Yeti, Skoda Laura LNK. I got mine from a Superb. The only difference is that Superb has a Maxidot, so it has buttons where you can toggle through menus of Maxidot, but my car does not have Maxidot. Laura LNK or Yeti steering has source button here with which you can change the source of the radio, but that's fine. Maybe in the future I can get Maxidot for this. I have removed the paddle shifters from the steering. As you can see, Superb steerings have paddle shifters in them. You can see I removed the screws and I have removed the paddle shifters from it. Now there's just this empty space which will be addressed when I get this steering custom stitched, because you can see it's pretty worn out everywhere. This can't really be fixed, but the stitching part of it can be fixed. I'll get this restitched and customized in a different way, and I'll reveal that later. But for the time being I'm just going to install it, code everything in, so that later on I can just get it restitched when I have the time for it. Enough chit chat, we'll talk later on about everything that is planned further on. Let's begin with the installation. Before we install our new steering, we need to remove the existing one, and in order to do that, we need to remove this airbag. And before touching this airbag, we need to disconnect the battery from the car so it doesn't accidentally blow up in our face. While disconnecting the battery, it is recommended to remove the negative end of it, because even if it does touch anything which is bare metal, it won't short anything. Unlike if we remove the positive terminal and it does touch a bare part, it's just going to short something. Unless you cannot remove the negative end, then just remove the positive end and isolate it properly so it doesn't touch anything else. In order to remove the existing airbag, there are two sets of pins. There's one here and there's another one right there. And as you can see in this airbag, which is removed already, if I just flip it, you can see those pins right here, these prongs. These, and they just lock into the steering on these two pillars or whatever you want to call them over here. So you just need to push those pins to the center of the airbag so they get free from those pillars or whatever you want to call them. So they get free from there and they just pop out on their own. You just need to push them to the center of the steering wheel. Obviously those were removed parts. We need to do that from the behind of this steering now. With the airbag unlatched from the steering, you can just pull this yellow connector out by pulling on this white tab, and it will pull along this yellow connector with it. In the Volkswagen world, all the connectors which are yellow are usually related to the airbag. I'm not sure if that's the case with every other car, but I've noticed that with these because I've just opened these. And as you can see, this does not have the black connector that the Superb one has. right here that goes to the steering wheel controls. Now with the airbag out of the way, we can remove the steering wheel by unbolting that bolt, remove the clock spring, combination switch, and install our new parts and then just code them. All the tools I'm using will obviously be linked down below. Now with the steering out of our way, we need to remove this trim piece, which is held on by 3 torque screws. These are Torx T25 screws. There's one here, and one is at the bottom in this cavity right here. And then we can just remove it. But we have to be conscious of this rubber grommet, which is on the keyhole. With that trim out of our way as well, we can remove the clock spring with these 3 T20 screws, Torx T20 screws. And with the clock spring exposed like that, it can rotate in any direction. Make sure to keep it upright and just make sure that it doesn't spin all the way so that you lose count of where it was before you start spinning it. Just don't spin it actually, just leave it as is. Apply tape on it if you think that you're going to accidentally spin it and not remember in how many times you spun it here or there. So just keep it upright. Well, after removing those 3 screws, the clock spring is free from the combination switch. It's just held in by wires now. You can see it's held in by this connector, this one right here, and this one. So to remove this one, you just need to lift up this black tab and pull on the white connector, same as with this. And in this connector, we need to pop down. We need to make this red tab pop down. We can just push the black tab now and pull it out. And I think same goes with this. Pull out the red tab and it just comes out. With these, we need to lift up this black tab and just pull this white connector out. So for that, I think I'll need 2 hands. There was one more at the bottom. With that removed, we can just remove the clock spring, just like that. And now we can remove the combination switch. Now in order to remove this combination switch, there are 3 tabs that you need to undo. As you can see, there's this one right here, this one. You just need to push this down, this right here, and then there's the same one on the other side right here. And then there's a third one which is just hidden behind this pillar or whatever. I mean, it's just hidden behind this thing right there, as you can see. So in order to remove that, what I will do is just take this flat head, which is slim and long, and I'll just push it and it can undo that clip over there, and I'll just have it in my hand. Now the clock springs might look very similar, but the module in itself supports this new module in itself supports steering mounted controls and cruise control. As you can see the difference in part number, you can read that, and it has a letter at the very end of it, which means that this is just compatible for the steering mounted controls and cruise control that we're about to add to it. This right here is the most essential and the most expensive part of this entire retrofit. As you can see, the vendor has zip tied the clock spring so I don't spin it accidentally, because it can only go 2.5 turns this side and 2.5 turns that side. And if it's not at the very center and I install it and it is turned 1 turn on this side, then I'll break it while I make turn on the left side, because then I'll just spin it 3.5 times on the left side, which will entirely break it, make it useless. So make sure that when you purchase it, you know that it is centered. Now installation is just opposite of removal, so I'll just install everything and I'll show you the coding. The steering wheel has been installed. Now comes the best part of the retrofit, which is to just wire the final connectors, which is this airbag, and test everything after coding it actually. As you can see there, it is a female connector of the steering, and this connector will go into that from the airbag, and this is to communicate from these buttons to the clock spring and to the car, obviously to the BCM. And rest is the same. The yellow connector that you pulled out, same way, it just needs to go back in, and as I explained, the black one. So I did not have to do any coding for the clock spring because the new clock spring which I installed was out of a Superb, so it was coded correctly already. So my steering started to work as soon as I installed it. I just had to do some basic coding for cruise control to work, which I did, and it works flawlessly. Unfortunately, that cluster, the Stalk cluster, cannot support controls from the steering. So as you can see, that does not work, unfortunately. It's okay, it gives me another reason to get a Maxidot, which I was planning for anyway. Now I'll just work harder towards it, it's fine. And the steering in itself has made the car feel a little different. It feels a lot more agile and nimble now. It is a huge upgrade over the stock one, and it looks a little more premium and a little more modern. I mean, how modern can this car even be, being I think 12-13 year old now. I think it's a great upgrade over the stock one, which was very bulky. The grip was not that good. It just felt like driving a truck, honestly. And now it just feels a lot better. It feels like you're driving an actual luxury car. So, and soon enough, when I'll upgrade the radio to RCD 510 with the Bluetooth module, this call button will start to work as well. Right now it does not work. So, and even the mute button does not work right now. As you can see, if I click it, it doesn't mute it because this radio just doesn't have a mute function in it. So when I get the updated stereo as well, there will be more buttons that will be functional. But all in all, as is, I think it's a great upgrade, and even if half the functions are not working right now, they will start to work in the future, so it's fine. It'll make blending of those new retrofits easier. So yeah, that was all I wanted to share about this retrofit. If you are looking for which parts to use exactly, because the part numbers can be confusing, there will be a link down below which will have a chart of the clock springs. There are two different types of them. This is the newer one, the later one, and there is a one which is before this, in which you don't really require to change the entire clock spring. It's just a module that sits under this trim that you need to change. I'll link a video for pre-facelift cars as well if you are interested, and you will have a lot more clarity about which part to go for and which part you have in your car. The best way to know which part you have is just to take apart this top trim, this one, and read the part number back there of your combination switch. That way you'll know if your parts are of the facelift one or the pre-facelift one. There were two phases of these, so it'll give you more clarity on the parts that you require. So yeah, that was it on this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.